Hello there and welcome to the first edition of Wobblefunk's gaming blog. This week's game is Navyfield for you junkies out there, and here is my review. Massive multiplayer online tactical simulation game. That is the tag that comes with this game when you load it. To normal people that means absolutely nothing. To the Navyfield junkies out there, you'll know what it means. It's essentially an RPG style game where you level up sailors with bases, and you essentially have to get to level 120, where then you are a god, but you have no life because you've wasted it all on the game. This game has four main nations: the United States Navy, the Royal Navy, the Imperial Japanese Navy, and the Kriegsmarine, which is the German Navy. They each have their own unique ship tree, and over 100 ships in total make up this game. Each nation in the game has its own pros and cons, such as the Germans have the better engines and range, the British have the hardest firepower and armour, the Americans are your good old all-round batters, they're pretty much good at everything, and the Japanese have the best aircraft carriers and, pretty average battleships. As you go throughout the game, you will level up from certain ship classes. You go through the frigates, the destroyers, the cruisers, the battleships, the aircraft carriers and the submarines. Each has its own advantage. As you can guess, the destroyers and frigates are good for minesweeping and killing submarines. Submarines are good for killing everything. Aircraft carriers are for good all-round domination, and battleships are good for pummeling anything and everything. When you look at the graphics of this game, it's not exactly Crisis. Each ship is made from sprites, and each ship has its own 60 individual sprites that make it up into a kind of 2D half 3D game. The levels on this game, there aren't many, but they're quite repetitive, but that's okay because each battle can be different because it's based on the players that go in there and not the map. There's one main map called No Way Out, and it's basically a giant blue ocean with rocks around the edge, and both teams start on either side and you have to just pummel the crap out of each other. There are other maps like where there's ice in the middle and it goes from top to bottom, and there's 3 entrances, and that adds a bit of different gameplay. There's CV Wars where you can't reach the other side. There's smaller rooms such as We Love Docto, where it has a small island in the middle but essentially a big blue ocean you're fighting. So yes, the maps are quite repetitive, but that's just part of the game. When you get into the multiplayer clan fleet side of things, this game becomes a whole lot more interesting and not just grinding to the next level. Every weekend there's an event called Harbour Assault and the Navyfield North America Fleet Leagues competition. These Harbour Assault is run by Navyfield, where the Fleet Leagues is run independently by one of the moderators. Harbour Assault is basically you hold one of the 4 harbours in the game, and you can charge for production, make money, and you fight and defend your harbour every week from other clans who declare war on you. The Fleet Leagues is open for clans, and they start on ladders, and essentially it's a competition, and whoever wins, I think they get to win about $300. I'm not really sure at the moment, but I'll give that a check and see what happens with that. When you get to the sound aspect of the game, you really want to start just cutting off your ears and burning them, really, because it's crap. I admit the sounds of the guns and the ships and everything like that is really good, but when you get to the soundtrack, it does actually offend your ears because it's just repetitive, it's a bit monotonous, and when you go in a battle you hear the same track about 3 or 4 times, depends how long you live, and it just, makes you really want to kill yourself. So, I'd steer clear and turn the music off and boot up your iTunes. In terms of value for money, this game's actually not too bad a hurt in the pocket. It's only £5.50 per month, which is $8, and that's cheaper than WoW. I think this game has a more addictive value than WoW, and there's a new NF3D coming out later this year, so that should be pretty good. Well, thanks for that. This is my first review. I'll see how it goes, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird.